butter in. My mom's sugar cookie recipe that I have uses water. They don't turn out if you use butter.
Wow.
Her peanut butter cookies don't turn out right if you don't use butter flavored Crisco.
Yeah.
It's,
Weird.
yeah, cookies are a whole
Different ballgame.
ballgame.
I just wonder because we've been using the European blend, it does save a lot of cost.
It does.
And it's all unsalted.
Yep. Because it is unsalted, it'll usually work. If you're using it to do cake, you'll probably just wind up with a little denser cake. You know, there's nothing to say that you can't. I know people that use margarine to make cake. I don't think I would eat their cake, but
Yeah, it's just that, you know,
mine is a pretty huge taste preference.
I'm just, you know, in practice and when you're looking at catering costs,
Yeah, definitely when you're looking at, like I spent all week going over the hospital's catering menus and everything, and I'm going, you can't have this, and you can't have this, and you can't have that, and we're going to use this instead of this, and because you're definitely watching the cost of those on those things.
the other thing that I've been thinking a lot about lately is that teaching them how to cook from the co-start method is one thing. In reality, when they're in a commercial kitchen, whole different ballgame. And they need to be familiar with things like the European blend and
Yeah.
the ways that commercial kitchens are cutting costs. And that's what we attempt
Exactly.
to do in our catering business for our school-based enterprise. So, is to show them the other side where you put the book
It's one of
theory
those,
into reality.
here's your book, this is the way it works. The program that I went through at the culinary school I went to is called the Chef Track program, and they teach you how to work in a commercial kitchen. I have I have my book, it says you make stock this way, you do this way. That doesn't happen.
No, not in a real commercial kitchen because you don't have that kind of time. The labor cost would kill you.
You don't have the time, most places you don't have the space, you don't have the staff, or you don't have the educated staff that knows how to do any of it. Fire Rock tried to make their own stocks. They had people boiling stocks and like trying to dip a pitcher into the top of the stock to use it as stock when it's all fat. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Just go throw all of that mess in the dumpster. We're not gonna deal with that. Because most places anymore have gone to, we have this base, you're gonna make this
Yeah, I
stock
was just
out of
gonna say,
it.
we're using bases. Yeah. I mean, I teach the stock portion, and then I say, okay, now in reality, when you go out into the workplace, this is the kind of thing you're gonna be using.
I think I made a creamy chicken chowder at Fire Rock one day that had chicken stock in it, and that was it. One day worth of stock. And it was because we had had a catering that went out that we did roasted chickens and deboned them after the fact. So I had roasted chicken bones and I'm doing it because I want to. Which was the advantage of being at Fire Rock and knowing more than just about everybody out there. Because I could throw it in there and put oil over the top of it and be like, don't touch it, it's fine. And part of that was they didn't want to make the girl in the kitchen mad. So, the difference between how a box cake mix would turn out, and I will tell you this, almost every cake decorator in the state of Wyoming, I have them all in a Facebook group, everybody uses a box cake, with the exception of about 6 of them.
Well, and like all the grocery stores are all coming in frozen. I mean, they're not doing any in-house baking anymore.
Nope. I worked at Albertsons for 3 years before I went to culinary school. They were even frozen at that point.
Yeah.
And that's been, I'm not telling you how old I am. But yeah, that's been a while ago. So the grocery stores have actually been frozen for a while.
Well, I mean, you know, quite honestly, what I'm finding, and because cake decorating is not one of the things we do in our catering business, because I can't compete with a $36 sheet cake from Walmart. And so when somebody wants a sheet cake, we just explain, we will be ordering it usually order it from Walmart, because quite honestly, the cake, frozen cakes that they're getting are usually coming from one supplier, whether you're at Albertsons or Safeway or Walmart.
Albertsons, Safeway, and Walmart all use the same suppliers.
Yeah.
Smith's uses a different one.
Yeah.
But those products are so similar that most people can't tell.
Well, and double the price if you go to Albertsons or Safeway, from what you're gonna pay at Walmart, $36 for a sheet cake, how can you compete?
That
For a full sheet, I can't compete with that.
I can't make
I
a
can't
full
even do
sheet
the
cake.
ingredients for that,
Yeah, I can't make a full sheet cake in my kitchen for $36. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
and decorate it.
So my question is, why aren't we in our state competition, since it is our own state competition? And why aren't we going back and being realistic and saying, I mean, why are we making these kids make it from scratch when the real world doesn't even make it from scratch?
I know.
I would rather see it concentrate more on the decorating
Decorating than
and
the
less on
actual
the cake, because the real world does just
Yeah.
concentrate on the decorating.
So that we could buy it there, because then you can buy the,
Right.
what do they call them? They call them,
It'll be easier to see when I farm it.
there's a term for them,
I would say in hopes that we actually start having like
custom
the
bakeries.
real world outside of what we're stuck with in Wyoming.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a bakery in Casper, Wyoming anymore, and it sucks. Because we get,